here we are. It is now this is your cousin Mike,
Cousin
right?
Mike has been a big supporter.
Mike, what's your full name?
Mike Curley.
And Billy has made it through all of her ordeal there with the leg, and she has a really cool high-tech, one of those new kind of neat titanium type things, I guess, right? It's got a knee joint and everything in it.
Right.
And how are you getting along these days?
Doing great, starting to learn to walk with this prosthetic leg, which is not easy, but I'm getting there.
So it is kind of tricky?
It is tricky. You have to learn when to bend your toes and when to lock your knee if you're walking. And it's not like everybody thinks, which I kind of thought too. You just put it on and take off. You don't do that. So I have a lot of respect for prosthetic people, that, especially the runners. I hopefully one day we'll be able to walk as fast as they can run. But I'm doing great, learning.
So how long have you been fitted for this one, Billy?
I actually got it March the 30th, but I had a few problems, had a leg injury, and I had to take it off for a few weeks to let it heal up, but we're still making adjustments. That's why they don't have the cover on the leg yet, because we still have to adjust as I progress. He makes adjustments each time, and then before long, hopefully I'll have it covered up and it'll look like a leg. Got one crutch and I also have one cane. I'm learning to use, I'm doing pretty good with the crutch and learning on the cane.
What ultimately ended up happening with the leg?
Ultimately, the wound center, the hyperbaric chamber, healed about 85% of my leg. I had one small little area that just would not heal. I have a stubborn body that just, the circulation still wasn't good enough below the knee, so we ended up having to amputate above the knee, and that was January this year, and it healed fine. And a great thank you to Dr. Taylor and his nurses. Dr. Taylor went out of the way and did more and beyond what his call of duty, and the nurses are great support, love them all, and love the girls at Hyperbaric Chamber. They're wonderful, Mandy and Angie, and my friends, my cousin, family. And I just thank them all for their support and thank God for what He's done for me. And
now, what kind of rehab have you had to go through?
well, I went to, of course, the wound center, and then I started physical therapy over at the Y through the hospital. And Josh and Brian, who I mainly work with because of the prosthetic leg, they've really helped me out and push you. They're like drill sergeants, push you to walk, and probably wouldn't be too happy with just my crutch right now, but I'm getting there, guys.
So tell me about your day-to-day life now. What's it like?
Oh yes, I'd get up every morning and shower and then put my leg on and start walking around the house, doing stuff around the house that I normally do. I bring my dog to the park and drive my car up, running around, shopping, doing all the great, wonderful stuff I missed out on. Life's pretty much back to normal, yeah. I mean, nothing's ever normal when you lose a leg, but it's close, and it's great that I've got a leg now to start walking on.
She's a very strong person. She really is. I mean, yeah, she went through some rough times, and I knew she would get through it, and I kept telling her that, and she did. And now I see her out at Walmart, and like she said, she's going, and she'll just be out by herself, and she takes off, and she goes. Like, she's out helping other people still and trying to do for others, and she's just a good person.
Work with me loosening up the muscles, because they really tighten up whenever you've been off your leg for a year. They tighten up a lot, and they try to help you to loosen them up. Then we get up and do balance exercises with balls and standing on different items that are unlevel and reaching for stuff. And then we take off walking, starting out crutches, and then one crutch, and then the cane, and hopefully before long, nothing. It is hard. It's not easy. When I first put my leg on, it took me like 30 minutes to get the leg on. Now I can get it on in like less than 2 minutes. But it's learning to use it and walk with it, because we take for granted our good leg, and you have to learn with the prosthetic leg. And that's been probably one of the hardest things. You have to learn, like when you start to take a step forward, you have to bend your toes to make your knee bend. And then when you bring it forward, you have to lock it back. So you have to remember all of that and learn all of that, and then kind of take off from there. And then when you start to sit down, you got to remember to bend your leg and bend your toes, put pressure on your toes so your knee will bend. And then when you get up, don't forget to lock it back or you're going down.